In this video today, I'm going to go over the Geometry Quiz 8 review / warm-up. So this is our first problem that we had last Wednesday. So it says what sides can be marked that's not currently marked and why. So we would mark our shared side. And recall that this angle up here would be congruent with that angle down there because they're alternate interior angles, right? So that means if we are going from WY, we would go this direction on that side and we go this direction on that side. So we're not going to go the same direction across these two sides. So that's the thing you need to notice, and that's true of all shapes like this that have a diagonal where opposite sides are parallel, okay? So that means this would be WY is congruent with WY is congruent with YW, and it's a symmetric property, remember, because they flipped, okay? The next one says find the missing congruent statement that would prove the triangles are congruent by side, side, side. So what do we need? We need a third side, right? So we need this side over here and this side over here. And once again, think that through. How are we going to move? If we move from X to W, we went from the outside corner. That means we're going to do Z to Y, okay? So X to W, Z to Y. All right, the next one, number 3, says what can be marked in QRTS that is not marked. That would be our shared side again. And again, remember, if it's like this, we're going to move across these sides the opposite direction. So it's going to be SR and RS. RS is congruent with the SR. Why would that be? Why are the segments congruent? Again, it's the symmetric property. And again, this means if we're going RS here on this side, we're going SR on the other side, okay? If it's a diagonal like that, you're always going to move across it the opposite directions, okay? Then it says, how would you prove the triangles are congruent? Okay, what do we have? Let's talk about what we have. So in this case, we have our hypotenuses, right? Those are our hypotenuses. So I'm going to put an H right there because that's our hypotenuse, right? And then we have this leg and this leg, okay? So this is HL, okay? If it's a right triangle, check and see if it's HL. That's what you should do first, okay? This next one says, what can be marked that's not currently marked and why? So we have some vertical angles, don't we? These vertical angles right here. So it's not a side, it's not B and D, so we got to figure out which of these statements is correct. If we talk about ACB, we have 1 to 2 to nothing, right? So then we're looking for 1 to 2 to nothing, ECD. So that was not the right statement there. They are vertical angles, so that is true. Then it says what triangle congruent statement, move this down a little bit, what triangle congruent statement is correct, okay? So then if we talk about AB is from 1 to nothing, we're looking at what? EDC. Okay, so this would be, and why are they congruent? Okay, well, it also says that, so we had to figure that out, right? So then this is angle, this is an angle, and this is side. So it's not going to be angle, side, angle, because that angle is not between, the side's not between the angles, okay? So we know it's not going to be these two. So then we're just looking at our statement, BCA. BCA is nothing to 1. So we want to go nothing to 2 to 1. So yep, that's our true statement right there. Whoops, can't draw today. Sorry, y'all. So this is a correct statement. You got to make sure you're going around those triangles the same way. Now this one says apply the dilation D to the polygon with the given vertices. Describe the dilation. So we're going to take 2/3 of our -6, and we're going to take 2/3 of our 3. Okay. So 2/3 of -6 is -4. And 2/3 of 3 is 2, okay? So that's what we're looking for our P prime, we're going to call it, okay? It wasn't marked that way, but it should have been. So -4, 2, there's our answer right there, right? And we could go on and do the rest of the points, but we really only have to check P there, okay? Because all the rest of them are different. All right, this next one says determine if the triangles, determine if the triangles are similar, write a similarity statement. Okay, on this one, we need to find our third angle right here, and we're going to do 180 minus 28 minus 105. And when I did that, I got that it was 47 degrees. Okay, so now I notice that there's a 47 there, there's a 47 there, right? We got a 28 here, and we got a 28 there, and that obviously means that this other angle has to be 105, doesn't it? Okay, that says they are similar. Oh, they are definitely similar because they have all three of the same angles, right? So then we're just looking at the similarity statement. This is definitely not the answer. All right, so G is 28, and O is 28. G to O. Nope, that's not it. Okay. Let's look at I to M. So I was 47 and M was 47. Okay, so the first one checks. G was 28 and O was 28. That one checks as well. And H was 105 and N was 105. There we go. So this is our answer. They are similar because remember, they got to go in the same order. Okay, that's really the key here. All right, this next one, let's talk about it. So this, because they're parallel, y'all see that parallel symbol right there? Because these two sides are parallel, we can set this up as a fraction, and we can set it up exactly the way that it looks. So we could do our 4 over our 10, and that's going to be equal to, and it's asking us for zx, zy here, so that's going to be 5 over our zy. You could make that side x if you wanted to, so 4 times zy is equal to 5 times 10. So that's going to be 4 zy is equal to 50. And then we're going to divide both sides by 4 here. So zy was equal to, what was it, 12.5? Yep, 12.5. All right, our next one. It says let me see if I can move this over so you guys can see what we're doing. It says, what transformation maps DEF to ABC? So we're going from DEF to ABC. That's really important. Really pay attention to that on the test. So now, if we're going from DEF to ABC, then that means we're getting smaller, right? So it's definitely not going to be a scale factor of 4 or 4, right? It's going to be a scale factor of 1/4. And remember, we take your end over your beginning, okay? So you're going to take this side over 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 1 over 4, right? So that's 1/4. And then is it rotating? No, but it is doing what? Y'all see this? It's reflecting over the x-axis, right? Okay, or y-axis, sorry, y-axis. So that means our answer is going to be D down here, okay? All right, this next one is not going to be on this quiz, going to be on the next one, but let's go ahead and talk about it. If these angles are congruent, then that means that there's a ratio that we can set up, okay? So we can do x over 10, and put them right over each other, is equal to 14 over 16. So once again, we're cross multiplying that. 16x is equal to 10 times 14. So this is 16x equals 140. And we're going to divide both sides by 16. So x is going to be equal to 8.75. And again, this concept's not going to be on this quiz, but it will be on the next one. So it's coming. All right, this one says, use the information below to determine which pair of triangles are similar. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take 180 and we're going to subtract the 2 angles from it and find our third angle. So the angle C is going to be equal to, here, 38 degrees. Again, angle G here is going to be equal to, let's again subtract 88 and 36 from 180. That's 56 degrees. All right, 56 and 88 from 180 is, this is N, so this is going to be N, is going to be equal to 36 degrees. Then we've got 56 and 38. Subtract those from 180. We get that angle S is equal to 86 degrees. Okay, and then we got angle Y and Z. Sorry about that. Pause. Hold on one second. So the measure of X was 56. Okay, so now we're going to start comparing some things. So let's look at F. We're going to look at F and R. Okay, F was 88, R was 56. So definitely not our answer. Then we've got our X. Let's see if I can get a different color. X is 56 and M is 56. So those check out, X and M. And then we got Y is 36 and N is 36. Y and N. Okay, then we've got Z is 88 and O is 88. So these are our answers right there. Okay, now let's double check and make sure that on this last one it's not. So A is 54 and X, I'm talking about A here and X there. Okay, A and X. A was 54 and X was 56, so definitely not, right? Okay. And then M was 56 here, and F was 88, so definitely not this one either, because again, if the letters don't map to get each other, y'all, that's not the right answer, okay? All right, here's